Good morning students. Today we will discuss about physisorption and chemisorption. As earlier we have studied about adsorption, that is adsorption is a surface phenomena and it occurs only at the surface of the adsorbent. Okay, so it is further divided into two, that is physisorption and chemisorption. So let's discuss about the both. Let us discuss them with having comparison between them. It will be easier for you to understood this. So now let's start. Student, physisorption. When the particle of adsorbate are held to the adsorbent by weak van der Waals forces. Pay attention here. When the particles are held by weak van der Waals forces, then it is called physisorption. And in case of chemisorption, it is caused by chemical bond formation. You can look here. Here in chemisorption there is chemical bond formation, and here in physisorption the particles are bonded with weak van der Waals forces. Okay. Now come to the very second point, that is physisorption is not specific in nature. It is not specific, okay, but chemisorption is highly specific in nature. Now come to the third point. Physisorption is reversible in nature. It can be reversed to its original state, but chemisorption is irreversible. Now talking about physisorption, it results in multimolecular layer. Okay, in case of physisorption, multimolecular layer formation take place, whereas in case of chemisorption, unimolecular layer takes place. Okay, now let's talk about the fifth one, that is no appreciable activation energy is needed in case of physisorption. That is, to proceed the reaction in physisorption, there is no appreciable activation energy is required, but in case of chemisorption, high activation energy is sometimes needed. You can understood this with the example, taking example of physisorption, that may be, suppose adsorption of nitrogen gas on mica. Okay, so for this it doesn't require high appreciable activation energy. Okay, now let's talk about the very last difference, that is which is based on temperature. So here you have to pay attention, because from this point questions are asked. So the main thing is that in case of physisorption, low temperature is favorable, okay, and it decreases with increase of temperature. But in case of chemisorption, high temperature is favorable. You are seeing here, in case of physisorption, low temperature is favorable, and in case of chemisorption, high temperature is favorable. Okay, in case of chemisorption, it increases with increase of temperature. That is, chemisorption increases with increase of temperature, but then it goes on decreasing. So question is sometimes asked that on increasing temperature, chemisorption first increases and then decreases. Why? You have to answer this. So you can correlate this point with this one, that is here you are seeing the activation energy point. So you can see that that is chemisorption requires activation energy like chemical reaction. Hence on increasing the temperature, adsorption increases. This is a normal case, but then start decreasing because adsorption is an exothermic process. Okay, here release of energy take place. So this is why the on increasing temperature, chemisorption first increases and then decreases. Okay, there is one more question, that what is the effect of temperature on chemisorption. So then also you have to write the same answer. Okay, now let's come to the point. Our topic is Freundlich adsorption isotherm. Now we will go study about Freundlich adsorption isotherm. Here Freundlich proposed an empirical relation between extent of adsorption and pressure. What he does? He proposed an empirical relation between extent of adsorption and pressure according to it at constant temperature. What happens at constant temperature? You are seeing an expression. This expression, that is x by m is equal to k into p 1 by n. This is called as Freundlich adsorption isotherm. Expression of Freundlich adsorption isotherm. So here what are the values? Let's see. Here x is equal to amount or mass of gas absorbed, m is equal to mass of adsorbent, and p is equal to pressure. And here you can see k and n are constant. Okay, and these constant which depend on nature of adsorbent. They depend on nature of adsorbent and gas at a given temperature, that they depend on both. Suppose we are taking any example. Suppose this is a silica gel, okay, and its surface there are gas particles. So it depends on nature of both. Okay, now students, let's discuss about from the equation what we get. So we get a graph. The graph obtained gives following information about extent of adsorption. You can see the graph, it tell about the following things which we will discuss. The first one is at very low pressure. So what happens at very low pressure? So at low pressure, graph is nearly straight. Okay, that is x by m is directly proportional to p, and x by m is equal to kp, where k is a constant. And student, you must recall this, that at very low pressure adsorption is first order. So here you can see, when you correlate this with order of reaction, then you will find that at very low pressure the adsorption will be of first order. At the intermediate range of pressure, the reaction will be fractional order. And now at last you will see that at very high pressure, graph becomes parallel to y-axis, which indicate that extent of adsorption is independent to the pressure. So at very high pressure, it will be independent of pressure. And here the kinetics, that is order of reaction, follows zero order kinetics. Okay. Now students, according to Freundlich adsorption isotherm, you know the equation, that is x by m is equal to k dot p 1 by n. Now taking logarithm to both sides, log x by m is equal to log k dot p 1 by n. Again you can see log x by m is equal to log k plus 1 by n log p. So here you can correlate this equation with a straight line equation, that is y is equal to mx plus c. Okay, as we are correlating this with the straight line equation, that is y equal to mx plus c, so you can see at y-axis you will take log x by m, and intercept will be of log k, slope will be of 1 by n, and at x-axis we will take p. Now there are some limitations of Freundlich adsorption isotherm. So these are simply, it doesn't explain that why at high pressure adsorption become independent. Okay, and the very second is that the relationship that is established by Freundlich adsorption isotherm is purely empirical and has no mathematical concept.